All right, with Major League Baseball's July 31st trade deadline fast approaching, the Red Sox are racking up the wins. Last night, they demolished the Rockies 10-2. Their fifth straight win. The offense is booming. The pitching is delivering. Everything is clicking for the Sox. What could go wrong, right? All right, look at the surging Sox and what they've done in the last 10 games. They got an 8-2 record. Offense on fire. They've scored 86 runs and have hit 18 homers. In the previous 15 games, they've scored 43 runs and hit just 15 home runs. The starting pitchers have won 7 of the last 10 games. The Sox are just 1 game back of the final wild card spot. So you look at all this, and it puts me in a buy or sell mode. Rich Keefe of WEEI. Do you buy or sell that the Red Sox recent rise is real? Is this real?
Oh, I'm buying. Oh, I'm buying.
Oh.
Yes, sir, I'm buying. Those are some good numbers right there that you were talking about. The offense is coming alive. They've been playing pretty well. Yeah, I'm definitely buying on this team. You seem skeptical.
I feel like this is fake. I feel like this is not real.
Why? Because it's the Rockies?
Yeah, but it's the Rockies and a lot of bad teams.
Yeah.
Okay, you have bad teams back to back, and you use it to kind of inflate your numbers. So you have the Rockies, and then before the Rockies, you have the Washington Nationals. Mm-hmm. The Washington Nationals were so bad against the Red Sox that after the final game against the Red Sox, ownership said, no, we're going to fire the general manager and the manager, get them out of here. So I want to see, Keefe, what they do against real teams.
So I hear that, but they did sweep the Yankees. They then traded their best player after that. No, but listen, earlier in the season.
You can't be like Loki and that's what the timeline
is. Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
That was different. That was a different era.
But this team wouldn't take care of business against the White Sox, right? Even last year, this year's the same thing. They got swept by the Angels, a team that's below them in the standings. So they weren't even the prototypical beat the bad teams, lose to the good teams 500 team. They were a weird one. They were a hard one to figure out because they have a good record against the Yankees. They played the Rays really well last time. We're going to see them coming up with a 4-game series. So you're right. This stretch that they're on, the runs that they're scoring, have come against the Reds, Nationals, and Rockies, who are bad teams. But they weren't even always doing that before. And it's some of the young guys that are hitting right now. So I'm very optimistic on the team. I'm not saying they're this world-beating team, but they're 3 games over 500. They're 1 back in the wild card. And the American League's not very good. So if you get in there with an ace like Garrett Crochet and a lineup that can be pretty dangerous, I like the team.
You know what? This says a lot about me and what makes me mad, the things that make me mad. So I got mad the other day. I saw a stat on a network that was not this one. I saw a stat, and it said Trevor Story, the last 3 games. Okay, the last 3 games. Okay.
That's a good sample.
And it's like, he's hitting like 900. He's slugging like 10,000. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay. See, this is what it is. Like these, you can fatten up your stats pretty quickly. If you want to, you can put a frame on any stretch of games that you want. So if you put your frame, if you train it on the Nationals and you train it on the Rockies, it looks pretty good. As you said, I think the real test will come in the next couple of weeks, the next 15 games. This is a real Major League schedule. All right, next buy or sell. We should trust the Red Sox at the trade deadline. And this is a very poignant question because, look, you got John Henry, who doesn't do press conferences anymore. Craig Breslow doesn't use short sentences.
Or small words.
Not at all. On and on. What did you just say? And Sam Kennedy, he's a nice guy. I mean, Sam Kennedy's a nice guy, but sometimes contradicts Henry and Breslow. Do you trust this trio to do something at the deadline?
I don't. Well, and so that's the difference. No. You asked me, do I buy the team?
Yeah, you buy the team, but you don't buy the people who run the team.
And if I was in charge, I would be pretty confident in the deadline and maybe getting a player or two that's going to help them. But these guys, you can't. And I know, Sam Kennedy and John Henry have been here way longer than Breslow has. Breslow, unlike Chaim Bloom, at least made moves. Now, the moves were bad. The moves ended up being bad last year at the deadline. Remember, they brought in 5 players. They brought in a minor league pitcher who they then traded, in Quinn Priester, 2 relievers who were terrible, James Paxton, who got hurt and then retired, and then Danny Jansen, who's supposed to be the right-handed bat. So those weren't good moves, but Chaim Bloom, the previous 2 seasons, the team was about the same, games back of the wild card, and they didn't really do anything at all. They didn't choose a direction. So at least they did that. This offseason was a good one for Breslow. I know there's a lot of Breslow haters. He's easy to make fun of, but he had a great offseason. So I have more confidence in them now than I did 2 years ago at this time under Chaim Bloom, or even last year at this time prior to this offseason. But fool me once, fool me again kind of thing where no, I don't have a ton of confidence that they're going to be super aggressive at the deadline. I just don't.
Okay, I don't believe in the team, right? I don't believe the team is real right now. But you can't come out and say, as Craig Breslow did, hey, I'm authorized to go forward. You can't say that and then have Sam Kennedy say this was not a contradiction. They said the same thing. So Breslow, hey, we're going forward. Kennedy says, we built the team. We went out and got Crochet. We got Bregman. Aroldis Chapman. We're going forward. Definitely, we are going for it. So you can't say that and then not go for it.
No, I know.
I think they actually will do something at the deadline.
But more so. So last year, technically, they did. No, see, it's hard to be confident.
I know.
But last year, when the deadline was up, and you looked around at what all the teams did, you'd say the Red Sox added a starting pitcher, 2 relievers, and a right-handed bat. But they were not impactful guys. They didn't trade anybody from the 25-man, 26-man roster. They didn't trade any of their top prospects. So it was just a lot of kind of filler moves. They need to do something more than that. They need to do something bigger than that this time around.
Yeah, a big move, especially since you made the big move in the other direction. You got Rafael Devers off the team, and you've already got your protected class, okay? Mm-hmm. You got your protected class. You didn't trade the big 3. 2 of them are here. 1 of them is in Worcester, but you still have, you have great expectations for these guys. And so, what stood out to me, Keefe, is that Bregman said it unprompted. He said, oh, yeah, we've got some minor league assets. Whoa. Yeah. Hey, he's usually not the guy.
Yeah.
Hey, you're introducing the kids. You're introducing them as assets to use in a trade for today and not for 2 or 3 years from now. So I feel like they have an idea of what they can do and what they will do. So I won't be surprised if they do something significant. Now, Alex Cora said today that Alex Bregman is expected to be activated for the Rays series this weekend. Woo. They feel comfortable with the work he's put in without a rehab assignment. The Athletics' Jim Bowden reports the Red Sox would like to extend Bregman before the trade deadline. That's the good news. But it won't be easy with Scott Boras. That's bad news. As his agent, and I'm hearing, says Bowden, in my conversations throughout the league, if he's not extended, they could end up trading him to Seattle, Detroit, or Milwaukee. Buy or sell Rich Keefe. Red Sox should extend Bregman before the deadline.
So I sell, but not for the reason why you think.
Okay, all right.
I like Bregman. I'm glad they signed him, and I think he's going to be back. He has $41.6 million coming his way next year, fully guaranteed.
Okay.
And $41.6 million the year after that. He's already missed 40 games. I think tonight will be game 41 that he's missed. Are we sure he's definitely opting out? They're making it sound like, hey, he had a good 50 games. Like, he's gone. He's going to go price through the nose. He was a free agent this last year. 6 teams, including I think 2 of those teams that are in those trade rumors, were interested in Bregman. He signed with the Red Sox. So I don't think he's this. Good point. I don't think he's this huge flight risk that everyone's making him out to be. If I had to choose one or the other, extend him or trade him, I'll extend him. But I don't even think you have to.
No, I'm with you on this. It's almost like, I know Scott Boras, he plays the game, but it's almost like you want it too much. Why are you bringing this up? He's open to a new contract. You're being too opportunistic. Mm-hmm. You brought this up, one, because Devers is gone, and so now you're trying to take advantage of my PR nightmare. You're trying to take advantage of my pain by bringing your guy in there. But the second thing is, look, this is a guy who's a great player, has had a great career, but if you extend him, what are we talking about? No, he's over 30. You're talking about a 5-year deal. It's not something that the Red Sox would normally do. So I'm going to sell that.
Yeah.
And I think I know what you're going to say on this. Last night, Jarren Duran was part of the Sox offensive explosion against the Rockies. Hey, let me give you their numbers.
A win is a win.
Let me give you his numbers the last 2 games. They're unbelievable.
Yeah, they're good.
All right, he hit the longest home run in Fenway this year, 456 feet. Jason Stark reports this about the Sox and Duran. He says, I think they're going to continue to do things and solve their long-term issues. So I think Duran is probably in play for a lot of teams. I think he's the most likely of those players in their outfield to change teams, buy or sell. This is an easy one, Keefe. The easiest one of this segment. Sox should trade Duran for Joe Ryan.
I buy.
Yeah.
I buy. I mean, Joe Ryan's good.
That is the right
Joe
answer.
Ryan. Okay, so we agree on that. But
That's
no,
right.
Joe Ryan's good. And it's funny, their age, contract are actually pretty similar. Like, if that's even something that you're interested in. You know John Henry is, and you know that Breslow is.
Yeah.
But he's arbitration eligible. You have team control for a little bit. He would be a legitimate number 2 starter behind Garrett Crochet. And Duran's good. He's, you know, having an off year from what he was a year ago. But you do have outfielders. You got outfielders. You got Roman Anthony, who's now taking, you know, left field from him. Like, Joe Ryan would be the play here. That would be one where you move off a guy from the Major League roster, but you're still very much a buyer. You're telling your team, hey, we're in it for this season and beyond. Yes on that.
Okay, I'm buying. I'm buying for all the reasons that you said. I mean, you look at this, and it makes a lot of sense. You know, Duran last year, All-Star Game MVP, and look at all the triples that he hit, and he's your leadoff guy, and he's doing all these things. This year, they don't have him as the leadoff guy. This year, the numbers are down. Here's the only reason why I'll buy it, but I kind of want to get that. You know, when you go to the store and they say, would you like to get the guarantee? Would you like the warranty? Would you like to get the warranty? And you know, it's only another $79.99. Yes, I'm going to take the warranty because this is what I want to know. Minnesota, why are you trying to give me Joe Ryan? Like, you don't generally, teams just don't trade good starting pitchers who are under 32, 33 years old. He's not just having a good season. He's had a good career. He's solid. He's a good starting pitcher in baseball.
But they're not very good. And you are getting a guy who was top 10 in the MVP a year ago. You could maybe sell yourself on that a little bit. I wonder if they trade Buxton. I wonder if they're just going to be sort of like a seller and move off from some of their pieces, because they've had Joe Ryan for a number of years, and they haven't really been much of a player in this. So maybe they feel like, you know, in another couple of years, they're going to have to decide, are we giving him $200 million? And if we're not, then maybe we can get a guy like this, and an everyday player. I mean, I guess that would be the reason.
I guess what I've just revealed to people here on TV is that I've got a lot of issues, got a lot of insecurities, got some trust issues. I'm like, so why are you doing this? Why are you being nice to me?
They're like, why are you trading Duran?
Why do you want to do this?